Hey guys, Derek here. Welcome back to the channel. We are here reacting to another episode of Marvel's Moon Knight. This is episode 2. It is called Summon the Suit. Now what happened last time on Moon Knight? Last time we were kind of thrown into the everyday life of Stephen Grant as he experiences symptoms of DID, where he is, going in and out of consciousness and not really sure of what is true in his reality, and he's losing time, and we go along with him as he slowly realizes that that he's not just a sleepwalker, that he has alternate personalities, and two, that personality is Mark Spector and Moon Knight, what he becomes, and he gets thrust into this conflict with these people that are looking for this scarab, and there's a werewolf thing, and he fights it in the museum bathroom, and it's just like it was an all-around great entry to the series. I think there's only 6 episodes, so like they had to get going a little quick, but just like putting us in his perspective where he's not sure what's going on, and he's learning all these things on the fly, and really throwing us in from his point of view was, I think, really effective. And now that like we saw the suit, we saw Moon Knight, I'm really excited to go forward and get more questions answered. I'm interested to see more of Ethan Hawke's character and how he connects with everything, and how his like connection to that Egyptian god works. Like what is their plan, just to bring her back? Like what is the overall goal for them, and how does Moon Knight fit into that? Well, how does that beetle thing fit into that? I'm sure we'll get all these answered, but I'm excited to jump into it. Before we do that, please consider leaving a like on the video. That means a ton to me, and it helps my channel out a lot. It helps it grow. If you're new here or find yourself coming back often, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified when I upload, especially if you want to see me react to more Moon Knight. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider checking out my Patreon. It is linked in the description below. I post all my full uncuts in watch-along format, so you just sync up your own copy of the show and you can watch along with me. But other than that, let's jump into episode 2 of Moon Knight. Creature roaring. Oh, sand. Is he dreaming about it? Oh, this is gonna be the scene from the trailer when he wakes up and sprints out of his bed. Brother, you was fighting a wolf demon. You think it was a dream? It wasn't a dream, brother.
You there?
Wake up!
No?
Is he gonna go to work and everything's gonna look totally fine, like they fixed it all?
What is it?
Well, they're saying we burst pipes, but don't look like that to me.
Has anyone seen the security footage?
Well, yeah, I was about to.
Maybe don't.
Do not tell Donna that I let
That's
you
a
into this arena.
substantial setup.
I must warn you, what you're about to see is going to melt your brain, yeah?
It's just gonna be him tripping balls.
MI6 bonkers, bro. Yeah?
I wonder if like the suit only comes on for him, and like no one else sees the suit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all in his head.
For it, here it comes. No, wait.
Why are you going? What are you doing, you donut?
Just a minute. It was a dog chasing me like a hound.
Oh yeah, Anna the Baskervilles, was it?
Egyptian jackal. It was a jackal.
Good Sherlock Holmes reference. It was all in his head.
Fast forward.
Interesting.
Still you, bruv.
That's not me.
Interesting. So, like, most of the stuff that was happening wasn't actually happening.
Before you leave us, I'm sorry for the protocol of it, but any museum property on your person? No, I haven't nicked anything.
Oh, his name tag. I was like, does he see something? They wouldn't actually, like, no job in the world is gonna make you give that name tag back.
Oh, mate, thank you. Oh, thanks. Cheers.
Oh, he is alive. He is a real person. Got it. Confirmation. I mean, I figured he was a real person, but it's good. It's good to have the certainty about it. Ooh, that was a weird. The way they're keeping their faces shadowed is a little spooky. Yeah, that's spooky. That's some spooky stuff. Huh. Just a cot to sleep in. I'm always trying to like look at the reflections now, just to see if different things are happening in the reflections and then what's happening in the present screen. Gun? Is it a gun? I knew it. Some cash money for foreign countries. It's a United States passport.
It's real. It's totally real.
Ooh. It's like a compass, almost, pointing him in the right direction.
Hey, a compass.
Hey.
You're not pointing north.
It's like Jack Sparrow's compass in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Hello, man in the mirror. I was wondering if you'd pop up again. I know you're scared. A bit, yeah. I know you're confused. You weren't supposed to see any of this. No, well, a bit late for that, isn't it? So what? Am I like meant to be some sort of mad secret agent or something? Yeah, it's a little more complicated. More complicated? What? Am I possessed?
Kinda, yeah.
Demon? You're gonna go lay down on that cot back there. You're gonna take a nice nap. Are you joking? Sleep? I'm never gonna go to sleep again. You hear me? No, I don't care. How bloody handsome you are. Tell me what it is you are.
You look the same, man. You're also bloody handsome.
I serve Khonshu. I'm his avatar. Which means you are too. Sort of.
Sort of.
Protect the vulnerable and deliver Khonshu's justice to those who hurt them.
Khonshu? Yeah. The Egyptian god of the moon.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I eat one piece of steak and then bam, I go bonkers. I'm gonna take this bag full of illegal shit, yeah? And I'm gonna go straight to the authorities, and they're gonna put me away so I don't hurt anyone else, and hopefully, NHS will fill me with...
Oh yeah, Khonshu's not gonna be thrilled about that. Khonshu says, no. I got things to do, brother. I'm a magic Egyptian entity. The fact that he's like imagining most of this, like most of the things that are happening, is not real. He's just freaking out on his own. Unless Khonshu has some magical ability to remove things from security footage. It's crazy. Oh, hello, Khonshu. Time to have a conversation with each other.
Give it back, you fool.
What is this? This is so goofy.
Mark? Where have you been?
Layla?
What the hell is going on? Is this Steven the latest fake identity for you? I figured that you were using encoded messages.
Do I hang on?
You hang on her waist, brother, like that.
I'm still your wife.
Ooh. Ooh, that's cool.
This is your flat, Mark?
Yeah, I'm Stephen.
Are you living here with someone else?
No, oh, no.
She saw the restraints on the bed.
You sent these papers, but you never signed them.
Oh, divorce papers,
This is what you wanted.
I'm guessing.
Divorce?
Yeah, are we doing this or not?
I'll never divorce you.
He's like in love with her. Split personality's like super into her. I would never divorce you.
I don't know how to explain what's been happening, Stephen. I don't expect you to believe me. Stephen, listen to me. Honestly, don't really believe myself.
All I can do is try to you're making a mistake.
Stop what you're doing right now. All sorts of.
Why doesn't he want her to know?
Don't show her what's in the bag. You're gonna get her killed. You hear me?
The scarab pointing to Amatou Shakti? What we fought side by side for.
This whole one-man show is...
I am not Mark Spector.
I'm Stephen Grant.
And I think I'm in real danger. And I think maybe that you might be the only person that can help me.
Oop.
Can we have a word?
Are these the psychiatrists? They came to his house?
Hello.
No, it is the police.
Stephen Grant. Why did we come in, Mr. Grant?
Oh, you know, actually, right.
Appreciate it.
Oh, wait, you can't do that.
Here with me, no, me and my fish.
I bet these aren't actual police officers. Well, they might be, but I bet they're with, what's-his-face's cult.
Yeah.
What's this?
It's a paperweight.
Where'd you get it?
Paperweight shop.
Oh yeah, they're definitely looking for her.
We've only got ourselves a full-blown international fugitive.
It's a mistake. It's not me.
Mark Spector was part of a team of mercenaries that hit dig site in Egypt. Here's what they did to the archaeologists.
I'm guessing that's Bushmaster did that.
They shot in the back of the head. Execution style.
That's dark, man.
'Cause isn't that part of his origins of becoming Moon Knight, right? Didn't he disagree with what Bushmaster was doing there, and then Bushmaster like killed him, kinda, and then Khonshu saved him in return for being his avatar? That's what I understand from the comics of what happened loosely.
We were going to the police station.
No, brother, they got the tattoos.
Now, why would you take that?
I am never giving you control again. Ever. Do you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear, Stephen Grant of the gift shop.
Ooh.
Well, no wonder your scales don't balance. It must be very difficult having all those voices inside one head.
Stephen Grant?
I'm curious, do you think that Khonshu chose you as his avatar because your mind would be so easy to break, or because it was broken already?
Presumably both.
Okay, what
I
is
think
it?
that's
You see him
a
right
question for the comics
Privilege
lore
I
of
no
like,
longer have.
did he always have DID, or did Khonshu inhabiting him give him DID? Break his windpipe.
It's all right, it's all right. That's all we can do without your help. Come.
This neighborhood.
Oh, no? Yes. Chisalela, Wakanida.
He's still walking on glass, presumably. They speak Mandarin? It's a cultured group of people.
You have no conscience.
You don't have to listen to it.
Knocking over all their stuff, though.
I am real justice.
What's he saying now? I am real justice.
Is that his catchphrase?
I was his former avatar.
Interesting.
I was the Fist of Vengeance.
I'm not the fist of anything.
By the time his Fist of Vengeance arrives, people have already suffered. Amit knows this too well. She tears evil up from the root, casting her judgment before any evil's done.
Yeah, I don't think that's the correct path, though. This isn't Total Recall.
Well, isn't that a bit dodgy? Like trusting the judgment of a weird crocodile lady?
You don't need to.
Sorry, if Amit judges people pre-evil, like before the fact, then isn't she judging an innocent person?
Yeah.
I mean, a thought
Yes.
can't be.
What about a child? Would she kill a child for something they might do in 30 years?
I'm glad you mentioned that.
I think his ideology is like she's not killing people off the possibility they do something. I think he believes that whatever Amit operates like outside of time and knows for a certainty that it will happen, which would make his position a little more empathetic, sympathetic, understandable, but it's still wrong, in my opinion.
Do you know what this is?
Poisoned soup? No, it's a staff.
This is Amit's gift to her first avatar.
Alright.
And he gonna hit you with it.
Contains.
I don't want to use it. I don't.
Then don't.
Then don't.
I cannot help you.
Super easy decision there, pal.
I need to know.
If you don't wanna, don't do it.
Where is the scarab?
No.
Where are the drugs?
Scarab.
I have it.
Layla, what are you doing, girl? Why are you showing up here?
Summon the suit.
Sorry, what?
Roll credits.
Summon the suit.
Are they near an exit or are they just running up some steps? Hello. Is he opening up a portal to the underworld? Oh, more vampire demons, werewolves, not vampires.
I'm going to die in an evil magician's man cave.
It's a cool loft, though.
Jackal! Jackal!
Oh, she doesn't see it. Okay.
Summon the suit!
Oh. Cool.
Steven, what the hell are we wearing? Don't know. She said
It's a
I'm
suit.
wearing a suit. Yeah, the ceremonial armor from Conch's temple, not Psycho Colonel Sanders. Well, I don't know how any of this shit works. I do look sharp, though. All right, where is the scale?
Okay, so different personalities will summon a different suit.
What is that pose for?
That's bitchin'. Those are Daredevil sticks. You beat people with those. Okay, so he does have powers when he's with the suit. And okay, so it wasn't in his head. The jackals are just invisible. Invisible. Ooh. Oof. Stab it with a bottle. I guess this saves on CGI. Not having to render the actual thing.
You're in my yard now.
Takes off the jacket.
Come on, that's right.
This is so funny. Superpowers. Yo, why is that person not even attempting to hit the brakes?
Someone's gonna get hurt if you don't let me help. All right, do it. Take control. For now.
Oh, and then the suit transition. Yeah, different personalities, different suits. So cool. That's the one she recognizes. Hey, it's the Disney Plus logo part. It's a moon imagery.
Further. Gotcha.
Oh, he's gonna impale him on this statue. Yo. He got turned into dust. Bitchin'.
No, my body back. I can't do that right now, Steve. I'm taking it back.
Good luck with that, brother.
We've always managed to keep a wall between us, but something's changed. The one who controls the body's become stronger. You ruin people's lives. Everything you touch, you ruin. You hurt people. You abandoned your wife. You left her stranded.
Ooh.
I am protecting her. You don't.
I saw. Kanchu has his eyes on her. He wants her as my replacement, and I'm never gonna let that happen. You hear me?
I don't believe you. I don't trust anything.
Shut up! I promise.
You were nothing more than a corpse when I found you. You think
Yep.
you own this body? It belongs to me.
We'll find the scare.
Let me remind you, should we part, you may not like my next candidate, near and dear as she is to you.
I wonder if he actually would take her over, or if he's just using that as a way to keep Mark connected. God dang, Oscar Isaac. Look at you, brother. Still ripped as all cheese. I don't know what that meant. Just the first word that came to my mind. That's Duke Leto Atreides right there. We're in Egypt now, brother. Liked it. That was a good episode. And nothing after the credits. Got it. Okay, that was also a great episode. I think I liked it as much, if not more, than the first episode for slightly different reasons. The first one I liked because it was just like thrown into that uncertainty and confusion, not from an outside perspective, but from a character in this perspective, was dope. They slightly continued that in this episode, but also provided us with a lot of answers. So we get some answers as to like who Mark Spector is, where he's an American mercenary, and presumably did some shady stuff in Egypt. So he's a fugitive, but like he said, that's not the whole story. I know from the comics, I mean, they definitely could go a different route than this in the comics, but or in this show, but in the comics, he takes a job. Mark Spector takes a job with Bushmaster, who Bushmaster was in terms of Marvel TV, what we've seen, he was in I believe Luke Cage. He was the guy he's like the main villain in Luke Cage season 2, I believe. But he takes a job with like Bushmaster in Egypt or something, and Bushmaster is like slaughtering like innocent people, and Mark Spector is not a fan of it, and he tries to like stop him, and Bushmaster essentially kills Mark Spector. he's pretty much on death's door. But then Khonshu saves his life in payment for that, he has to be his avatar and become the Fist of Justice. So while that's not completely answered in this episode, we have some allusions to what it could, like that could be what actually happened. We also they've definitely played with some interesting perspectives. So they mentioned, Ethan Hawke mentions in an interview that Mark or Steven is an unreliable narrator. So like sometimes you can't trust the things you're seeing on screen. And they kind of played with that right away with the security tapes of like, oh, like maybe this demon dog was never actually there. But he was. So like we think it's not actually there, and we're like, oh, maybe he's just insane. But then later on we see that that the dog thing is just invisible. and the suit works, and he does get superpowers. So like that's all real. But he like legitimately thinks he's going crazy because he can't trust what is in front of his own eyes. Like he thinks he's going insane. He maybe doesn't quite realize that he has split personality or DID, dissociative identity disorder. Mark, I believe, recognizes that. He mentions later in the episode, he's like, I've always been able to keep a wall between us, but something's changed. Like whichever body is in control is stronger. So it's harder for the other one to break through. I thought maybe from last episode that maybe Steven was like a newer personality, but I guess he's been a long-standing personality. I wonder if like something probably happened, right? Because presumably Steven has been suppressed for a long time because like Mark was able to live a life and have adventures and have a wife and stuff. So presumably he would have been in control for like many years. Unless Steven is a new personality, Mark would have been in control for quite a long time. But something happened recently. It could be like the mental instability or struggle of like going through something stressful like a divorce or trying to protect your wife could lead to some stuff with your split personality breaking through. I'm not sure. The fun sequence with him running through the storage facility, and it's just kind of goofy and weird. And he runs into Layla, and Layla's like, dude, like, what is going on? Like, stop pretending. And I think over the course of the episode, she slowly realizes that this is not like an act, like it's a real thing. And he was going to divorce her. So, presumably, you can intuit that both Layla and Mark are still like in love with each other, but he's divorcing her to protect her from Khonshu. So Khonshu's threatening to have her as the next Fist of Justice after Mark, which is not good. But I wonder if he's actually threatening it. Like if he would do it. Like if Mark died, would he choose Layla? I mean, she seems very capable. Or is he using that as like just like a way to keep Mark invested in the role? Because he says you're worth caring about. Does Khonshu actually like care about him, or does he just like value his abilities and his skills, and doesn't want him to go? Who knows? Steven gets kidnapped by the bad people, and there's a whole like conversation in this like cult community. They have a great life presumably, but it's very much like cult type stuff. Like the only reason this town does not have huge crime stats anymore is because everyone's invested in the little cult. And technically, according to this cult's beliefs, like everyone there's a good person, if that makes sense. Like they've all been probably prejudged or whatever, that they won't do anything bad in their lives. Granted, if they do bad stuff in service of Amit, that's probably forgivable in her eyes. But other than that, like, no one's gonna steal anything because they have the certainty that everyone there is a good person. And they have a whole kind of philosophical, moral conversation while eating some soup about, like, what does it mean to judge a person before they've done the bad thing. Where Ethan Hawke's character Harrow is very much like on board the, like, Khonshu's justice comes too late. So I wonder if something happened, because he was the previous Fist. I wonder if something happened that he thought maybe could have been prevented, or like something personal happened to him, and he was too late. Like he couldn't prevent that, and he deems like Khonshu, he obviously deems Khonshu's justice to be inadequate, and so he went searching for something that is more all-encompassing. So I'm guessing the reason he jumped ship from Khonshu to Amit is because of something personal, like some sort of tragedy maybe happened to him, a family member died, who knows. They have a whole conversation about, like, what does it mean to cut off the diseased limb? Like, if your arm is diseased, do you let the disease travel up through your body and eventually kill you, or do you cut it off before it gets there? And I don't remember if the movie where they like talk about it is Total Recall, or it's I don't think that's what it's called. It's something with Tom Cruise though. The Fifth Element, maybe? No, not The Fifth Element. Something. It has Tom Cruise in it, but it's like where these like precursors can predict crime ahead of time. Mark brings up the idea of, like, aren't you killing and hurting innocent people? Like, they haven't done anything yet. Like, you can't just judge these people based off things they haven't done. Like, a thought is not a crime. Like, I think about killing my boss. Like, that's not I want to actually do it. Like, you can't judge him based off that. No, that kind of is that is kind of a belief in various belief systems. And like Christianity, there's I forget which verse it is specifically, but it talks about within like the concept of like lusting or like cheating on your spouse. Like if you lust in your head after another person, like you have already cheated or like sinned in your heart. Like you, even if you haven't committed the actual action, like you're not a physical literal adulterer, but like in your heart you've already done it, so it's like just as bad. But it's just a very, when it comes to like actual like physical judging and consequences, it's very muddy. And I think I agree with Stephen of like, you can't judge people like and kill them and like dole out consequences for potential future actions. But it's also interesting because the way I'm interpreting this is that Amit isn't necessarily judging these people off of potential future bad things that they could happen, but at least according to Harrow's beliefs, right? He believes that she can see these things, Amit, can see these things with absolute certainty. Like it can peer into your future and know for a fact that like 25 years down the road, you will beat up a homeless dude for no reason. I don't know. You will steal a video game from Walmart. Whatever. Like Harrow believes that Amit essentially can operate like outside of time and see those things with absolute certainty. So it's not, in his mind, it's not operating on the basis of judging people for something they might do, but judging someone based on something that they will do with absolute certainty. So that makes his belief system a little more understandable, but I still like, in terms of like the actual like consequence part of like, they haven't done it. Like you can't you can't, maybe Amit, just like jot it down, keep track, be like, okay, they're gonna do this in 25 years. Maybe then 25 years down the road, whoever your avatar is, just have them step in and be like, hey, don't do that. I don't know. That's a lot of people to keep track of, but it's better than just killing them 30 years ahead of time, because they could still do a lot of good stuff in between that. But he sends the new werewolf dog after them, which is invisible. Confirm that it's real, though. Like, it's a real thing. And Layla's trying to get Steven to summon the suit. One thing I really enjoyed is the idea that the suits are personalized, kind of. So, like, depending on which personality is active, when they summon the suit, it'll be a different suit. So when Steven summons the suit, he thinks of a suit, like a tailored suit. And he summons, in the comics, this imagery is known as Mr. Knight. So he's not he's not necessarily the same type as Moon Knight. He's different. But I guess in this they're just making him look different. So it's still Steven. like the Khonshu doesn't like take over the body, and Moon Knight is a new entity. It's still either Mark or Steven underneath in control. It's just they have powers in a suit. But Steven summons fancy Mr. Knight, and he's just like, he's trying to fight and he's not good at it. And it's just looking dumb. And eventually Mark's like, dude, people are gonna get hurt. Like, let me in, let me take control. And then when Mark takes control, the suit immediately shifts to the one that we've seen from like the trailers and at the end of the last episode. And he impales this dog after doing some parkour. And then him and Mark and Steven have a conversation. Like, they actually lay it out on the line of like, what is going on here? And Steven obviously still upsetty spaghetti about the whole thing. He's like, I don't want to be trapped in a mirror. I don't like it. And Mark is like, dude, most of the time you'll be asleep. It's going to take a lot of effort to even be trapped in a mirror. Like, chill. You've been asleep for 40 years. Leave me alone. I got business to attend to. But we do learn that he's protecting his wife from Khonshu, and Khonshu is kind of not he's not a bad guy, but he's slightly mischievously antagonistic, kind of sassy towards Mark, where he's like, listen, man, I'll just take over your wife. Like, you know, if you're not up to snuff, I'll just move on to the next one. And it's like, you know, he's clearly manipulating him a little bit, which, you know, lends some credence to the conversation earlier with Harrow, where he was like, you know, I was his previous avatar. Like, he'll lie to you. Like, don't believe him. And then you see Khonshu as this somewhat manipulative identity or you know, individual later on. And it's like, it's laying some groundwork, planting some seeds for maybe Khonshu not being completely trustworthy. But it also could be a situation where maybe over time Khonshu becomes more sympathetic, more of a good guy entity, right? I don't know. But then they go to Egypt because Harrow's got the beetle, and you know, Mark is just drunk and angry. And that's the end of the episode. But it was a fun time. I really liked it. It's very quick pace. Like, they're moving, they're getting through it. And now we're in Egypt. Presumably Mark does not like being in Egypt due to the previous events of what happened here. But hey, we got to stop that Egyptian deity from rising somehow. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the next episode. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think of this episode down in the comments below. I think my favorite part was the honestly, not like, ooh, I really, like, that's my favorite, but like something I found really cool, like that stood out to me is the differing suits of Mark and Steven, and just how that comes into play, which maybe that means we'll also be seeing more of Steven in the suit going forward, but I'm not sure. Maybe when it requires more combat heavy stuff, Mark will take control. But I don't know. Yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this episode in the comments below. If you liked my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a ton to me, and it helps my channel grow a lot. If you are new here or find yourself coming back often, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified when I upload, especially if you want to see me react to more of Moon Knight or other Marvel properties or Star Wars or any nerdy stuff in general. I'll be watching it. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider checking out my Patreon. Over on my Patreon, I post all my reactions in full uncut watch-along format, so you just sync up your own copy of the show and you can watch along with me. On my Patreon, you can also vote in polls for what shows I watch next, and you can get featured in every single one of my videos. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.